Hello, my name is Kristina Luttrell, and I'm going to take you on a little trip through multiple states to tell you about my past self, my present self, and my future self. But before we take this trip, let me ask you three questions. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where are you currently at? What do you want to be when you grow up? These are all questions that we ponder often in life. And as you will see, the answers to these questions may change. Now buckle up and let's take a little trip. The first stop is Florida. On July 31st, 1990, a little girl was born in Jacksonville, Florida. That little girl is me. I spent lots of my childhood visiting and vacationing in Florida. Now, let's go to our next stop, Georgia. I was raised in South Georgia in a small town called Tifton. My mother was a nurse, along with my grandmother, my aunts, and many of my cousins have grown to be nurses. My father was a semi-driver. I was the youngest of four siblings. I graduated when I was 17 years old, and when I graduated, my parents told me I go to the military, I go to college, or I get a job and I move out. Well, I decided to go to college. When I enrolled in college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I decided to get a business major. I figured business is in all aspects of life, so surely I'd be able to get a job with that. So about a year and a half into my college experience, I got a job offer from a family friend out in Oregon. This job, though, was not in Georgia. This job happened to be on our next stop, Tennessee. So I packed my bags and dropped out of college and moved to Tennessee for this job offer. I didn't have any family or friends in Tennessee, but it was okay because I was used to traveling, so I decided it'll be okay. So I would work Monday through Thursdays, long hours. Therefore, on Fridays, I could get off work and either go back to Georgia for the weekends, or I would drive up to Kentucky to a little town called Liberty, where my family friends had a vacation home at. And that is when I met my husband, which takes me to our next destination, Kentucky. So I have lived in Kentucky for 13 years now. I dated my husband for 10 before we got married. And after we got married, I found out I was pregnant and had my little boy. And then I decided I want to go back to college. So I finally decided what I wanted to be when I grew up. And it is far from what I expected. So I'm currently a mother to a 2-year-old little boy. I'm a wife to my husband. And I am a junior in college, majoring in nursing. I'm in my second semester in nursing school, which is hilarious because, like I said, when I was 17, I was not following that family tradition. But here I am. I guess it's just in my blood. So, which brings me to my future. In my future, I see myself being a registered nurse, having my first assist in the operating room, which means that I get to assist the doctors during surgery. And eventually, once my little boy graduates high school, I see myself traveling because, like I said before, I love to travel. In conclusion, though, as you can see, I have many stories to tell. Now, remember back to the questions I asked you at the beginning of my speech. Where are you at in your life? As you can see, my life has changed a lot. And that's okay because it just keeps getting better. Second, where do you see yourself in 10 years? 10 years ago, this is not where I expected to see myself. It's better. And the last question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? First, let's think, when are you actually grown up? When do you grow up? I don't feel like I've ever grown up. I'm 33 years old and I feel like I'm still growing. I'm growing in my faith. I'm growing as a woman. I feel like we are never fully grown up. But I finally have the answer to that question, and that's a nurse. So, whether you were in high school, you're just starting college, or you're in your 30s and 40s and just going back to college, that's okay. Just remember to keep looking forward and know that you can do whatever you put your mind to. Thank you.